Hi, everyone, and welcome to Lunch Break Yoga with myself, with Lorna. I would like to start by thanking our Mayor, Carolyn Brilliant, for her interest in wellness and for offering this, among other programs, in February to our community, and to Jacqueline Kane, who helped facilitate the whole thing and get it going technically, etc. She's very patient with me on that count, and I appreciate it. Again, my name is Lorna Milbauer. I've been practicing yoga for many years, and was certified about 6 years ago as a yoga teacher, and have been teaching ever since. It's my passion, and I am so happy to be here to share it with you. Last week, for the community, we had a chair yoga class, and today we're going to be practicing on a mat. So hopefully you have some kind of mat or surface to work on. I like to sit up on a couple of blankets. You could get a pillow or a block, something though that would be comfortable for you to sit up on. I find when I sit on the support, it's easier to elongate my spine. My knees want to settle down a little more easily. For those of you who haven't been sitting cross-legged for a while, this class is geared towards newcomers to yoga. So at any point that you don't feel comfortable doing something, don't do it. You know, we're here to have fun. We're here to release stress. You can also let your legs stretch out at any time and switch the cross of your legs. Sometimes I forget to mention that. Oh, we've been sitting this long. Switch your legs. By all means, please do that. I usually like to start my classes with something about yoga. And last week, to condense it as short, in as short form as I can, I mentioned, because it's like, why yoga? Why all this hype? Why does yoga work? Well, one thing is when I'm seeing people outside jogging and biking and walking and on their treadmills and on their stationary bikes, most everybody are wearing headsets and watching TV, talking on the phone, listening to music, podcasts, books. So there's a disconnect between what's going on above the neck and what their bodies are doing. Yoga means union of the mind and the body. And therefore, when we're practicing, we are tuned in. There's no disconnect. We are paying attention to what our bodies are doing. At the same time, we're also paying attention to what is going on in our minds. There's this beautiful connection that we're making. And when we do that, we can discover where we're holding resistance in our body, which is usually the culprit of stress. So we're here to relieve stress. I had to take a deep breath too. We all know that it's been a long season. We've had to deal with many issues in our environment, and with COVID and everything else, and a lot of stress has developed as a result of that. And so what happens? And stress can be anxiety, anger, fear, loss, illness, pain, etc. And when any of these hit our body, and we don't always know it, muscles contract. Sometimes it's in the neck, in the shoulders, in the chest. Our heart is a muscle. In our hips, headaches develop, all kinds of, sometimes we don't even realize where these muscles contract. And the beauty of yoga is the postures are designed to find those areas and to start to allow them to release and open. We are now, it used to be, okay, we got scared, we were frightened, and then our muscles would release again, fight, flight. And that's healthy, that happens all the time, that's fine. But now we have this chronic stress, and somehow we don't take the time or have the time in our muscles, nothing is alleviated to allow our muscles to open. So that's one of the other beautiful jobs of yoga, and we will start. So if you've been sitting one way for a while, cross your legs the other way. This is called Sukhasana, a comfortable seated position. Remember, if you're not comfortable this way, you might want to put something under your knees to support it. Your legs can be out straight, whatever feels right to you. So let's start by closing your eyes and rolling your shoulders forward and up towards your ears and down your back, letting your arms rest comfortably and heavy on your lap. If you didn't already, closing your eyes and visualize those sits bones, those sitting bones, making contact with your mat. And this sense of lengthening of your spine from there, up and long and tall. Head reaching nice and tall. Again, we're strengthening and lengthening our spine. And this may not be comfortable for a lot of us who are hunched over all day on our computers and phones. Our core, our belly can be engaged. And then see if in this nice tall position, you can take everything that you tightened up to be tall, keep it tall and soften around it a little bit. So it may not be perfect, no such thing as perfect. And you might have found that your shoulders came up with you when we sat tall. So again, rolling the shoulders up and down your back. And take a moment now. Hopefully you have silenced your phones. You're in a nice quiet spot in your house where you hopefully won't be disturbed. Take this moment to notice any sounds you may hear around you. Notice the feeling of the air as it makes contact with your skin. Notice the feeling of your clothes as they're draped over your body. Imagine this magic eraser smoothing out any lines in your forehead, around the sides of your eyes, your cheekbones, releasing your jaw gently, noticing if you're holding anything there. Perhaps tucking in your chin just so slightly relieves a little bit of pressure on that neck. And now notice and pay attention to your breath just as it is right now. Do you think it's fast or slow? There's always a space in between, of course. Hard or soft? Smooth or jagged? Long or short? Notice where your breath starts, where it finishes. Perhaps now you can fill out that breath a little more, smoothing it out a little more. The shoulders soft, the face soft. Place one hand on your belly and feel your breath as it expands your belly on your inhale. Notice it as it comes away on your exhale. Continue. Interesting to me that when it expands, you're inhaling. Just noticing it, smoothing it out. Can we make the exhale as long as the inhale? Maybe count the beats on the inhale, 2 or 3 or 4. And match them on the exhale. Take your other hand and put it on your chest. And this time, as you fill up your belly, imagine you're filling out your ribs into all the way up into your chest, expanding that beautiful balloon. And then slowly letting it deflate from the chest, ribs, belly, letting it slowly go. And repeat that. So as you fill up your belly, your ribs, your chest, maybe a pause, and then releasing it. So when you're ready on your own, as you're ready to inhale, count the beats to the top of your breath, and maybe a pause beat. It's up to you. And then match it on your exhale. Keeping one hand on your chest and belly. Doesn't matter what the number is. If it changes going up, match it and change it going back. No, all is good. Breathing in through your nose, mouth stays closed. Maybe you can even hear this wave-like sound coming from the back of your throat. Two more rounds on your own. And when you are completely done, take your time. Bring your hands back down to your lap. Keeping your eyes closed, and notice your breath now. Notice any changes that may have occurred. I have a long list of all the benefits of this breathing, but 3 of them for starters is that you've delivered oxygen more efficiently to more parts of your body. You're helping your concentration and your focus, relaxing your muscles. And that's one of about 9 on my list that I spouted off last week. You may slowly opening up your eyes. If they're not already open. Welcome, hi. I'm going to direct you to float your arms out and up. I have a rotator cuff injury that I can do it, but I'm avoiding floating out and up today. So as you float your arms, I'll do it once with you. I might be floating in and up. So out and up like this, guys, every time I'll say. So on an inhale, float your arms out and up. Yeah. Inhale, interlace your fingers, stretching up to the sky. You can look up that way, up to your ceiling. When I practiced outdoors, I love to be able to say the sky. And twisting a little bit one way, then the other. Yeah. And floating your arms out and down. So that's what I advise you to do if your shoulders feel good. I'm not going to be doing it that way again. Again, you guys, floating your arms out and up. Opening up your hands a little wider, pinkies in, opening up the chest. Yeah, beautiful. And then bring your hands together, interlace again. And float them out and down, out and down. One more, nice big inhale, reaching your arms out and all the way up. And now I'm mirroring you. You will be twisting to your left. So you're going to take your right hand on your left knee and the heel of your other hand behind your hip. If you're on a pillow or blanket, that's fine. Leave it there. Press into close to the hip so that your back is nice, straight, and long on an inhale. And on the exhale, twist toward your left, mostly from the waist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Lengthen. Twist that shoulder that you're looking towards. Perhaps it can come away from you a little bit more. Lengthen, twist. And then slowly unwinding back to center, floating those arms out and up. And releasing the other way, left hand on right knee, anchor of heel behind the hip, lengthen long. And exhale, twist towards your left. Inhale, lengthen long. And a little twist. You can use that hand on your knee as a gentle lever. Again, nothing is going to be pressed or forced. Some say we're massaging organs inside of our body. And there's some dispute on that, but I like to think there's some veracity. And then as we unwind back to center, all the fresh blood and oxygen comes back in. Float your arms out and up. And again to your left. Same thing, twisting, lengthening. Hold on to that knee and bring your arm behind you, up and over your ear. So if it doesn't want to hold your knee, hold any part of that thigh and let your body release down toward your right. Bend your elbow and then straighten your arm a little more. Anchor that left hip. Notice how nice side stretch you might be getting. Again, bending the elbow and straightening it any amount. Nice. Keep that one hand on your knee and cross your other hand over to the other knee or part of your lap. And then hug yourself in. Fingertips behind your shoulders, any amount. Hug nice and tight. I'm not going to drop my head because I'm talking to you, but drop your head down, chin towards your chest. Hug it all in. Engage the core. When I say that, belly button towards spine. We can get core work down here too. And just maybe a slight rocking side to side. Think about all those people that you haven't been able to give such a delicious tight hug to. And still just notice what you're feeling, what might be stretching, what might be comfortable, not comfortable. Just notice. And then from here, lighten up your hug about 50%. Keep your head down. Nice and gentle. Take a few breaths. And take a moment to notice how you're feeling again. And maybe thank yourself for the self-care that you are giving to yourself, how we need it, how if we're not getting a hug elsewhere, how good it feels to hug ourselves. Let's lift our head up. Keep our elbows one on top of the other. Release our hands from our shoulders, squeeze your forearms in toward each other. Maybe your hands will wrap around and touch. No problem if they don't. Squeezing the forearms in toward each other, lifting maybe the elbows a little bit, engaging your core, reaching your shoulders away from you. Notice where we're getting into some of the parts of our neck and back of our shoulders and top of our back that we hold. And so while we're doing this, let's scan our face. Is it soft? Is our neck soft? Lift the sides of your mouth. That's a trick. But don't we notice how we can transfer discomfort to other parts of our body unnecessarily? One more full breath here. And then very, very slowly letting those elbows come down. And I'm not doing it with you. Flying your arms out and all the way up. And we're going to do the other side. Twisting to your right. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Keep that hand on the knee. The back arm comes up and over the ear. Let it go. Let it go. Keep that right hip down. And then looking at that arm, bending and straightening the arm any amount. Letting the body hang, knowing that it's supported by holding our knee. If we let go of the knee, whoops, we probably fall over. Not too far. Nice. And then keep the hand on your knee, cross the other one over to the other knee, thereabout, and hug yourself in. Other way. I'm creeping my fingertips behind my shoulders as far as they want to go. Let your head, let your chin drop to your chest. Squeeze it in, squeeze in the abdomen. Again, perhaps a slight rock. Keep your head down, ease up about 50%. Keeping the elbows crossed. Release your hands from your shoulders, squeeze your forearms in toward each other, wrapping fingers around if they want to go. If they don't want to go, pressing your forearms toward each other gets exactly the same benefit. Lifting those elbows, they may not want to lift at all, but that's the action that we're taking. Reaching our shoulder blades back, engaging our core, and softening our face. Oh my goodness. And notice maybe one side feeling different than the other. And we're trying to open up space where it's long been held tight. And slowly release those elbows down. And you guys fly your arms out and up. And bring them down. You might want to release your feet, let them go. Bend your knees the other way. Couple of waist circles, one way, just two each way, and the other way. And we've been sitting enough. We're going to come forward on your hands and knees. I'm going to be sideways so you can better see me. Hands and knees. If your knees are uncomfortable, if your floor is hard, maybe you can take a blanket or a towel or something to cushion under your knees. So feel free to do that. In the meantime, our wrists are going to be under our shoulders, shoulder distance apart, fingers spread, four fingers facing forward. Our knees under our hips, hips distance apart. And let's turn and look toward one of our feet. See if our calf is in line with our foot, our knee calf in line. Yeah, almost like we're making a number 11. And then let's look the other way. We're getting a little bit of a twist this way too, getting the hips out of the way as you look to see one foot and the other, one foot and then the other. Great. And here we are back into cat and cow position. So, cow, we let our belly just hang down there. Think of a cow's udder. Just let it hang. And when we let it hang, our tailbone tends to tip up and lift your chest, lift your heart center. Yeah, and that is our cow pose. And when we connect the breath, that's going to be an inhale because we've expanded. And then as we exhale, what we're doing for cat is we're looking down. We're bringing our belly button through our back up to the ceiling, pinching in our tailbone toward our forehead, almost like an angry cat, pressing our arms away, all engaged. And then we let it go on an inhale. Belly starts to drop. Heart center lifts, tailbone lifts, head lifts, cow. Exhale, belly button into spine up toward the ceiling. We're curving that back. Head looks between our knees. Arms pressing down. And release it into cow. On your own, exhaling into cat. I think this is one of the best yogic exercises ever. We're lubricating our spine. We're bringing flexibility to our spine. Great for any lower back stuff. Healthy spine, healthy body. Two more. Remembering to exhale as you lift up your belly into wherever you are. Maybe one more. Nice. Now let's circle our hips around. And you can bend your elbows, you can move your head, nice and loose, however that works. Sometimes it helps to think you're making a big circle with your nose while you're doing this. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. And after you've reached the top, reverse and go the other way, exhaling back, inhaling forward. Now 4 more. I know it's hard to look at the computer and be practicing properly yoga. So it's just not worrying how it looks. Try to listen to my words. So here we are again on our hands and knees. Lift up your right arm in a twist, looking up toward it. And then lower your fingers toward the floor and slide the top of your hand under that standing arm. And let your ear and shoulder come to the mat. Let it all stay down there. Your butt is still up in the air. Just a nice other kind of twist. We call it thread the needle. Don't know the Sanskrit for that. Some of you may want to walk the hand by your head forward. Not required. Or slowly back and bend the elbow, bring that hand behind your back. Gets in a little more to that neck and shoulder. Notice where you might be feeling a little bit of a release. See where you can soften. Send that breath. Bring the hand wherever it is back to your head. It might stay there the whole time. That's cool. And then slide that arm again, back out and up, and bring it down. Same thing, other side. Left arm lifts, slide the fingers go down, slide the top of the hand under the standing arm, bringing your ear and shoulder to the mat. My voice is away from you, hopefully you'll hear. And stay like this if that works for you. Just like that. And then if you did it on the other side, we like to stay balanced. Bring the hand that's by your head forward, straightening that arm any amount. Again, in yoga, we're always listening to what our bodies can do in the moment. What it might not want to do today, what tomorrow it'll feel fine doing. We just stay in touch with that. And then bringing that hand back, if you did it on the other side, bending the elbow and bringing it behind your back. Connecting with that breath, softening where you can. Bring the hand back by your head. Slide that arm back out and down. And from here, and again, I promise you this would be a gentle yoga. We're going to open our knees, almost mat's distance apart or less. Again, we're all different sizes. Big toes come together. We sit back toward our heels and we let our forehead touch the mat. Now, this may be too much of a stretch for your neck. It's okay to stack your fists and let your forehead rest on your fists, or your hands stacked one on top of the other, or a blanket. Put your forehead on a blanket, but let your head rest comfortably. Let everything rest comfortably. Sometimes this may bother the knees. The thing with yoga and why we have so many props is sometimes, and I know it may not be accessible to you right now, is to put a blanket behind those knees so that it feels more comfortable and you feel the contact that you're making. So this is what we can consider the next time we meet, is having these props available for you. But we're resting in child's, and one thing that I love is that it's a chance again to release, to rest. Rest is considered a dirty word sometimes in America, but resting is good. And in this pose, you can also feel your belly expanding into your lap on your inhale. So it's more tangible. If I touched your back gently, perhaps I would feel an expansion of your inhale, not only into your belly, but I would feel your back slightly coming up. Couple more breaths in child's pose. Okay. And then coming back to our hands and knees, and I'm going to turn this way just for a change of pace. Back to your hands and knees. Walk your hands a couple of inches forward, your knees maybe an inch back. You're going to tuck your toes under. You're going to lift your knees and hips off the floor and stretch back your heels back toward what we call downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And when you get there, start to pedal your feet. So you bend one knee as the other heel reaches down, and then the other one. Again, noticing where you might feel a little tight. This pose gets easier with time. If you're a newbie here, it really does. So to find out a good length for our downward facing dog, what we sometimes do as a rule of thumb is you bring your shoulders over your wrists, upward plank pose. And then if that's a good length, you lift up your heels and your hips and you come back to down dog. And so for down dog, think about your forearms squeezing in toward each other, your shoulders away from your ears. pinching your belly button up toward the sky, lifting your tailbone up to the sky, slight bend in the knees, reaching heels back, head soft, ears between your forearms. I know it's a practice. At any time this feels too much, child's pose is always there for you and perfectly acceptable. So then from here, come forward to plank. Let's put our knees down right where they land. Come on the tops of the feet. Keep your hands where they are, a little further forward than tabletop, and press back towards your heels, ears between your upper arms. Come up on your fingertips if you can. This is called puppy. Some people say puppy and down dog. Well, no, if child's pose and down dog had a baby, it would be puppy. Here we go. That's a nice long stretch puppy. So we're going to take a flow here, get our body moving. At any point that you don't feel good about it, just stay in child's pose. So here we go. We're going to tuck our toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale, knees come down, tops of feet, press back, puppy. Maybe come up on those fingertips. Inhale to table, tuck your toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Knees come down, tops of feet, press back, puppy. Inhale, table. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, puppy. Inhale, table. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees and tops of your feet, puppy. So you can continue that on your own, or stay in puppy, or bring puppy to child's. I'll guide you through it again. So where are we? We're inhale, table. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, puppy. On your own, see if without me saying it, that you can come up with that flow. A vinyasa is a flow. Okay, maybe a couple more. If you aren't already in child's pose, we'll meet in a couple of breaths in child's pose only. And you may want to bring your hands behind you, resting your shoulders. Okay, downward facing dog. Soften your knees and walk your hands backwards toward your feet. Hanging forward fold when you get there. Uttanasana. Grab opposite elbows, let it go. Side to side. Let your hands drop. Your knees can be bent. The idea is not to touch the floor with straight legs, doesn't matter. Bending your knees. I have my torso resting on my thighs. Letting it all go like a rag doll. Shake your head yes and no. We carry around a lot of weight in our heads. You don't realize it's like 10 pounds on our shoulders. Let it go. Let those shoulders go. Start to straighten your legs any amount without forcing. Inhale up halfway, flat back. Hands on waist, lift from the chest. And everybody walk to the top of the mat. So I'm going to be here in the middle. All right. We're going to float our arms out and up, out and up. Hands together and down. Let's roll our shoulders forward and up and around and down. And the other way. Float your arms again, out and up. Reach your left hand with the wrist. Anchor that left foot down and pour yourself over to the side. Bending and straightening that elbow. And bring it back up. Same thing, other side. Bending straight up. Nice. Floating your arms out and down. Rolling your shoulders up and back and down your back. Standing nice and tall. Well, optional to close your eyes. I like closing my eyes. I feel more, I'm more tuned into what's happening inside my body when I do that. See if you rock forward and back and side to side, are you equally balanced on your feet? Lift and spread those toes. Lift those kneecaps into the thighs. Notice how they engage the quads, and perhaps flatten your tummy and lower your tailbone and lift your chest. And keeping that nice height and length, soften the contractions you just created, keeping that length. This is Tadasana, mountain pose. A couple of breaths in mountain pose. Closing your eyes, just noticing how you're feeling right now. So much to do, not a lot of time, lots of poses in yoga. I'm going to just trying to address many parts of the body where we can be holding some of that stress and see if we can address that today and find those spots. Okay, so from here, face the top of your mat. Float your arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Step one leg back and the other leg back, downward facing dog. Forward to the top of a plank, an upper plank, top of a push-up. Allow your knees to come down. Keep your elbows in and slowly lower your body all the way to the ground. Forehead on the ground. And bring your hands alongside your body, palms up, forehead down. And we're going to do a sort of, I call it superwoman. If we were men here, we'd have supermen too. So maybe we do have some men here. Let's lift your head, your shoulders, your arms, your thighs, your calves, your feet, your hands. So keep thinking, what can I lift here? I can lift my head a little more, my shoulders, my arms, my hands, my thighs, my calves, my feet. And keep scanning. What can I keep lifting a little bit more from my head to my toes? This is a slight back bend. Lifting, keep lifting. Keep lifting. A little more, keep lifting. And then slowly with control, bring it all down and turn your head one way. Let it go. Release. Let it go. Keeping your head to the one side. We'll do this one more time to make sure we balance our neck by turning it the other way. Okay. Okay, so forehead back to the middle. Again, we're going to lift our shoulders, our arms, our legs. Those of you who actually do bow pose, you can bend your legs up and grab your ankles and flex your feet. Keep your legs somewhat together. Or do what we just did, flying away Superman. And so we inhale our head, our shoulders, and our feet are pulling back away from us. With the action of our feet pulling back, they're lifting up our body more and more and more. And slowly with control, releasing it down and turning your head the other way. Nice balance in everything. And then from here, we're going to turn over onto our backs. Bend your knees, knees towards your chest. We're winding down, guys. Knees towards your chest, hug it in. Hug it in. Rock side to side. Take your hands on your knees and make circles one way and the other. Just getting out any kinks you may be feeling in your back. Yeah. Nice. The other way. It's like giving your back a massage. Everything we're doing is really considered quite therapeutic for low back stuff, or preventative for low back stuff too. So here, let's hug in our right leg and plant your left foot down, or you can slide it long on the mat, whichever feels best for you now. It's fine. I'm going to slide mine long, but it could be stamped too. Lift your head to your knee and your knee to your head, a little core work there. Yep. Straighten that leg as much as possible up toward the ceiling, coaxing that leg in toward you. Soften your shoulders, face. Any amount. Slight bend of the knee is always encouraged. We don't want to lock out our knees. There's a whole thing about joints and straightness that we'd go into another time. Keeping that leg up. Allow your hands to come to the side. And flex and point that foot. Roll the ankle one way and the other way. Wiggle those toes. Great. Hug it in. Bring your right arm out to the side like a half of a T. And guide that knee over towards your left side, rolling onto the left side. At the same time, can you keep that right shoulder down? Nice hip stretch. Turning your head toward your right. Again, never forcing. If that's not working for you today, just put it where it feels good. Noticing where we're relieving and making opening, making space. Two nice long breaths up and down the right side of your body. Rolling back to center. Let's hug in our head to knee one more time. Let the head come down. Let the foot come down. Slide that leg long next to the other one. And notice if it feels any different than the other leg. Okay, we're going to balance out. Left leg comes in. If you had your other foot planted, do that. If not, keep it long. Hug it in. Head to knee to head. Back down. Lengthen your leg long. Coax it in towards you any amount. Let your hands come down. Keep the leg up. Flex and point. Notice if you go slowly how you can feel the muscles behind your calf when you flex and in front of your calf as you point. Encircle the ankle one way, the other way. Wiggling the toes. Yeah. Hug that knee back in. Head to knee, knee to head. Bring your left arm down and coax that knee over the long side of your body. Let me see if your foot was planted. They both can bend that way, yeah. Any amount. So you can keep that left shoulder down. Nice breathing up and down that left side of your body. Coming back to center. One more, hugging in. Plant your feet, heels as close to your behind as they'll come up. Arms down beside you. And we're going to press into our feet and into our arms and lift our hips up into bridge pose. Allow your belly to expand to breathe here. Come on your tippy toes. Lift up the hips a drop more. Let that breath look at your belly rise and fall. Let the heels come down. Keep that length and slowly roll down from the top of your spine. Down, down, slowly down. Tilt it away from you and then lift one more time. Feet are down and allow your spine to roll down as if you could feel each vertebra touching the mat. Allow your feet to touch the sides of your mat, arms out any amount. And let your knees fall to one side. Nice little stretch, yeah. Perhaps turning your head the other way. Inhale up. I know we'd love to stay there longer, and let them fall the other way. Two more nice breaths here. And now the best part, we get to prepare for our final Shavasana. So you're already on your back. That's a good start. If you want a slight pillow for your head, I recommend that your head does not go very high up. We want to keep the back of the cervical spine in line with the spine. Sometimes I like to turn up my mat just to cushion my head a little bit. And if your lower back sometimes gives you a little difficulty, it's nice to put a rolled up blanket or bolster under your knees. Otherwise, we're stretching our legs nice and long, heels almost mat distance apart. That feels comfortable, allowing your feet to flop out, letting it go, yeah. And lift up your shoulder blades, spread your collarbones, turn your palms up. Arms are about 45 degrees from your body, whatever that means. Just a nice, comfortable distance, turned up, chin slightly tucked in. And this is considered, eyes are closed, the most important pose in yoga, Shavasana. It's a chance for our bodies to absorb all the hard work that it's done. It gives our body a chance to truly benefit. So as we are here, think about that magic eraser of mine that I loaned you at the beginning of class to smooth out your forehead, the sides of your eyes, your cheekbones. Move around that jaw gently. Feel this warm, dripping sensation coming down your neck, into your shoulders, relaxing them, softening them. Allow your arms to rest heavy, palms facing up. By facing your palms up, you're allowing yourself to receive these benefits that you have created for yourself. Bringing your attention to the tops of your arms, your forearms, your wrists. You may feel that energy you've created in the palms of your hands. Bring your attention to your fingertips. And notice that gentle rise and fall of your natural breath, just as it is. Bringing the attention, your mind's eye, to the top of your thighs, knees, maybe behind your knees, calves, ankles, top of feet, bottom of feet. And bring your attention to the tip of each toe, one at a time. We hold ourselves all the time, but this is an opportunity for ourselves to be held by gravity. Nothing to do. Start to deepen your breath, bringing movement back into your fingers, into your toes, turning your head gently side to side. As you feel ready, roll over to one side of your body and curl in and rest on that side. Give yourself a chance to regroup, to notice how you feel right now. And then from here, keeping your eyes closed, use your top arm to press yourself back up into a comfortable cross-legged seated position. The way we started, noticing your seat and your tall, relaxed body, grounded and yet light, all at the same time. Soft base, soft shoulders. Bring your hands together, front of heart center. And take this last moment to enjoy the peace that you have created for yourself. I hope that you are leaving feeling lighter, refreshed, and renewed to be able to handle the rest of your day with ease. And you see this big sign, Namaste. Namaste is has a beautiful meaning. Most people don't really realize it. It's that the light in me is, we all have this special light inside of us, and the light in me bows to that same light in each one of you. Have a great day. Namaste.